Hey UT19, welcome to Always on Air, brought to you by the Office of New Student Services here at the University of Texas at Austin. Thank you for joining us. My name is Sarah Villarreal, and I will be your host. As you may have guessed, I'm an orientation advisor, and this summer will be my second orientation on staff, welcoming new students to the university. I am from Harlingen, Texas, and just graduated with a degree in geography. I will go ahead and let the rest of the panelists introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Sergio and I'm a third-year accounting major from Dallas, Texas, and this is going to be my second year working for orientation.
What's up everyone, I'm Tay. I'm a third-year human development major from Tyler, Texas, and this will be my second year in the orientation program as well.
Hi, my name is Steph Salazar. I'm from Eagle Pass, Texas. I'm about to be a senior studying women's and gender studies, and this is about to be my third summer with the program.
Great. We're going to spend the first part of this program discussing what to expect at orientation. Then we'll turn to you and address some questions that you have asked or are hopefully currently asking on Twitter. Beginning now, please use the hashtag OASOnAir. That's OAS on air. All right, let's get started. Steph, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Sarah. So there are 6 freshman summer sessions that happen between June and July. Following by a session in August, which typically occurs the week before classes start. Orientation is mandatory for all new students. All students attending orientation are required to stay in Jester East and Kinsolving Residence Hall, with the exception of those attending our August session. And you're required to stay there during the duration of your session. We hope and we believe that your time on campus is an essential shared experience with your new Longhorn family, one that we know will help you acclimate to campus life and campus culture, and help you familiarize yourselves with the variety of university resources and really help set you up for the academic journey you're about to start. Although if you have not yet registered for orientation, go ahead and do so on the New Student Services website. And remember, you must complete your pre-orientation modules before arriving here for your session.
All right, thanks, Steph. Tay, how about you help us learn what students should expect as far as traveling to orientation?
Of course. So the first thing you do is check in from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. on Monday. You want to make sure you plan ahead to account for traffic in the morning, as it can be kind of heavy here on campus. If you're staying in Jester for orientation, you will check in at the Jester Center, which are 2 big towers that you can't miss that are by the Brazos Garage. If you drove, the most convenient parking will be in the Brazos Garage off of MLK Boulevard. Orientation advisors will be stationed around the garage and will help you get to the check-in line. Before entering Jester Center, you will say goodbye to your family and guests, unfortunately. There is a family orientation check-in line down the road at Gregory Gymnasium that they can attend. For students staying in Kinsolving Residence Hall during orientation, you will park at the 27th Street Garage. Family and guests interested in the family orientation will be directed to the waiting area and then will be escorted to the family orientation check-in. While going through the check-in, you will get your schedule, a meal card, and your residence hall key. Then you'll proceed to your room and be able to meet your orientation roommate. Because of the capacity of issues, parents, guardians, and guests are asked to not go through the student check-in process. Once you're settled in, you can grab some breakfast or attend a campus tour given by some of our great orientation advisors.
Great. Sergio, can you shed some light on what happens during day 1 of orientation?
Yes, of course. So a lot of really exciting stuff actually goes on during the first day. Just make sure you pay attention to what programs you're required to attend on that first day. The first one will be the Longhorn State of Mind program, which is the official opening welcoming ceremony to introduce you to the University of Texas. From there, you will be dismissed by college to your college meetings, where you will be able to learn all about the great opportunities and resources that are offered to you with your major and college. There, you will also get a little bit more an idea of what your academic advising appointments will look like, as well as what type of schedule you will be having this fall. Some of you will also have to take a math assessment test right after that college meeting. Following the college meeting, you should also want to visit the Longhorn Lounge, where you will be able to relax, recharge, and learn about all the great campus resources here at UT. One of their trademark programs is also the Texas Barbecue and Student Resource and Organization Fair. Your families are more than welcome to eat with you at the barbecue there. After that, you will be heading over to your 360 connection meetings, followed by a wing meeting with your orientation advisor, who will then lead you to our signature program, A Rip in the Pages, a show produced by orientation advisors to help you learn how to stay safe on campus.
Awesome. Steph, what is there to do during the evenings at orientation?
So there's so much to do at orientation in the evenings. So your orientation advisors, which is about us and about 90 other incredible, fantastic current student leaders, have planned a lot of evening programs for you to relax after this long day and meet new people in your class and learn some new things. So on the first night, following Rip in the Pages, you can learn all about all the incredible UT traditions at Perfect Pitch Take 19. And even after that, we keep it going with some programming, including Underground, which is free bowling, billiards, and karaoke in the Texas Union Underground. The Campus Crawl, which is a late night tour of the entire 40 acres. UT Time, where you can relax with some delicious hot tea and some iced tea too, and get to know more people in your class. And Werewolves, a game that will sure keep you on the edge of your seat. And I'll talk a little bit more about night 2 when we get there. And Tay can tell you a little bit more about that.
Of course, so on day 2, you can look out for the more required programming, but there are plenty of opportunities for you to choose from that are specific to your interests. You start the day off by going to your second college meeting, and also you want to make sure that you go to make it to your academic advising appointment, as you'll be registering on Wednesday. You are asked to attend a U-Transform program, which is offered on both day 2 and day 3. You'll notice that there are some blocks on both days for Discover UT, and these are times when you get to choose which UT resource or program that you would like to learn more about. There's another required wing meeting that second night, and your OA will lead you to Ties of Texas, a really powerful program about the various students you will encounter while on the 40 acres.
So we're already into night 2 of orientation, and we still keep it going with plenty of programs that OA is coordinated for you. Keep an eye out for dodgeball and kickball, thrills and chills, which is icebreakers for you to get to know more people, a game station, and topping off the night with hashtag Turn Up Tonight, where we'll have a DJ spinning all the way until 2 in the morning. Many of y'all may be nervous about class registration that happens the next day. So because of that, orientation advisors will be in the lobby of whichever residence hall you'll be staying, there to answer whatever class questions you may have or about the registration system from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., but really we'll be there for as long as you need us.
And then you're on to day 3. There are more U-Transform and Discover UT sessions scheduled throughout the morning, leading up to lunch. Following lunch, it's time to register for class, beginning at 2 p.m. Your colleges will specify where they wish for you to register, but know that there's a central class registration location in the Flan Academic Center, or FAC. Orientation advisors, as well as academic advisors, will be there to assist you with any last-minute registration questions. Plan to check out the residence hall shortly after class registration. All right, time to get some of those questions on Twitter. We'll try to answer as many as we can. So our first question, what is your favorite part of orientation?
I can answer that. So one of my favorite parts of orientation, and even one of the biggest things that made me want to become an orientation advisor, is the Ties of Texas program. It's a really, really powerful program that I really didn't expect when I got here to UT for orientation, but it really made me learn a lot more about myself and a lot more about the people I was going to be interacting with once I started school here. And it's since then, since my summer orientation, it's really been something that I've really appreciated.
Tay, do you want to answer the question as well?
Yeah, sure. So one of my favorite parts of orientation is actually the academic advising aspect. So during that day 2, you will be paired with another of the orientation that y'all will have a one-on-one session with choosing your actual classes that you'll be registering for in the fall. And I think that's like one of my favorite parts because you get to like have that that connection that you don't usually get to have with the orientation advisor. And so it's a great way to build a relationship and also get to know and form that connection with somebody that you will be able to keep in contact with throughout your UC at the 40 acres.
Sergio?
Yeah, so speaking about building relationships, my favorite part about orientation is how much there is to do. There's a ton of optional programs that we have throughout the entire 3 days that you can engage in, where you will meet a lot of people, a whole lot of others who you can have conversations with, become friends with, and a whole lot of fun things you could do aside from doing the required things that you have to do. So it's all really fun, and you get to meet a lot of people, and you'll love UT by the time you leave.
And as far as my favorite part, we talked about it a little bit, but there are a lot of shows at orientation, and like some are more serious, but some are like they're comedy shows, like highlighting the different traditions here at UT, and they're like really funny. So I'm totally gonna pump those and totally take advantage of those, because like you're not gonna see them anywhere else.
It's pretty true.
Now, okay. So here's a couple of questions from Twitter. At HannahK934 asks, can I partake in both the Freshman Research Initiative and a first-year interest group? Is this recommended?
I can answer that.
Okay, go.
So I believe those two are two 360 connection programs that help you get involved and connected to the university. And you are more than welcome to do as many as you want. They're just gonna make your experience here at UT that much better. A first year interest group is just a very kind of laid back group program where you can take a couple classes together with a group of 18 to 20 students. You'll be introduced to a couple of campus resources, do really fun activities. Whether, as opposed to the Freshman Research Initiative, which is a little bit more academic, that helps you get into research as early on as freshman year. So I think both of those programs will be very beneficial to you, and I would totally recommend to do both if you can. Cool.
Okay. So before I get to the next question, I have been told that our sign is backwards. So I think we're gonna like flip that around really quick for y'all, just so you can tweet in some more questions for us.
I can talk a little bit more about the first year interest group. Everything that Sergio said, as well as you'll be paired with a mentor that's most likely a UT sophomore, junior, or senior. That's really going to be there for you for the entire time that you're there. And even longer, you can get to know what their experience has been on campus. And they really are a resource for you that you see every week, but you can really get to know them, and they can really help you with whatever you need during your time.
So another question from Twitter. When generally does recruitment for clubs begin? How easy is it to join a group once it has begun the following semester?
Sure, I can answer that. So hi, Hannah, I'm Tay. And so recruitment for clubs usually it's dependent upon the type of club that it is. Some clubs will be recruiting while you're at orientation. So there is a big resource fair that you will be able to attend during the barbecue. And so most of the clubs will be tabling outside of Gregory Gymnasium, where you will be receiving your barbecue. And you'll be able to stop by the different tables in order to just see what different clubs that you'll be interested in joining for that fall semester. And as far as like how easy is it to join once it has begun, that is dependent upon the type of club that it is. But some like spirit organizations, or maybe more of like there's so many organizations, like over 1,300 student organizations. So it depends on which one it is. Like some will allow you to, some may have an application process that has a deadline. And so you may have to meet that deadline before you're able to get access or join that program. And so if you do have to meet that application deadline, you may not be able to join like once that time has passed. But for others that maybe just open enrollment, so you maybe just be able to contact the president or director of that organization, you'll be able to join at your leisure.
And something that's really cool about UT is that Tay said that there were about 1,300 student
Yeah.
organizations. But even if whatever you see doesn't really meet what you're looking for, you can absolutely go ahead and start your own student organization. All you have to do is get, is it 2 or 3?
people.
3 other people that share your interests and have a really similar drive for whatever you want to do, and pay the $10 registration fee, and you're a whole brand new student organization. So if you get here and you still can't really find whatever you're looking for, even though we have many incredible student organizations that do many incredible things, you can go ahead and start your own.
Yep, sounds good.
Awesome. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What happens if I do not get all the classes I want?
Yeah, I'll answer. Yeah. So if you don't get all the classes you want, it's definitely not the end of the world. I think some people are like very stressed about like which classes they'll get registered for and which ones they aren't. They won't be able to register for. But what happens if you don't get all of them is that you can just try again the next semester. And also, sometimes what's very helpful is like emailing the professor of the actual course. And I know I did that before, and just let them know that you're very interested in enrolling in that course, and they may be able to do something that will allow you to get enrolled in the actual course. But it's definitely not the end of the world. Don't think that you'll be like very far behind in your degree plan. Some degree plans are like very strict in like what they want every semester. But as far as like availability for those courses, it may not just be able to fit into that schedule. But just don't like fret about it. You'll be fine. Like once registration opens, just have everything organized and ready to go, and you should be fine.
And then to tack onto that, we'll talk about this in more detail with your peer academic advisors, but there's this period of time called add drop, and that will be like, it's usually the first couple of weeks before the fall semester starts, and that's when registration opens up again, and so feel free to add and drop then as well. I know a lot of people who have built like schedules from scratch that way.
And that happens before each semester.
So, getting some more Twitter questions in now that our sign is correct. Okay, so at Ashley101 Park, how hard are the first year classes at UT?
I guess I'll start off with
Yeah.
that one. So the classes that you will be required to take your first year here at UT are definitely not built or structured in a way that are going to make you fail. We definitely want you to succeed here at UT, so we're going to make sure that we give you a schedule and help you plan out a schedule of classes that are going to be very well balanced out so that you have the opportunity to excel not just your first semester but beyond that. You're gonna, one of the first classes that you will be taking your first semester is usually a UGS undergraduate studies signature course that has a wide range of topics that you can choose from out of your interest, and that's gonna help you adjust to the university through certain exercises and assignments that they'll give you based on the tools that you will need to develop here to be successful.
And even if you want
No,
to
go
add
ahead,
on to
you're
that,
fine.
okay. So even if you do feel a little bit overwhelmed with these courses, UT has a ton of tutoring resources and studying resources to help you sort of develop how best you study and learn, and also give you tutoring sessions. I know the Sanger Learning Center offers a certain amount to every student in a handful of courses. And even just reaching out to your teaching assistants, your TAs, and your professors and going to their office hours can be really beneficial to you if you're struggling by any means in any class. And that absolutely applies in the classes you'll be taking your first semester too.
And also, I know that a lot of us can agree that in high school, we didn't have to do much studying to succeed. And so one of the great things about attending UT Austin is that it actually challenges you in a way that most other public institutions or higher education institutions don't, I guess. In a way that, okay, it's good to know the knowledge, but UT tries to test you on how much you can apply that knowledge, you know? So it's not as far as how much you can add this number to this number, but how can you do more application-based problems to figure out how to get from that situation that you learned like maybe last semester to how you can apply it to how you get the answer to something that you may have learned in the following semester. So I think that's like one of the ways that UT's degree is like so valuable in that it is ranked one of the highest or the highly ranked public institution in the nation.
Great. So we have a question from Jane. Jane says, should I wait until after registration before deciding on which kind of laptop and software to buy?
Oh, awesome.
You know.
Yeah, definitely. So I actually work with like the Information Technology Services Department here on campus, and we do a lot of like technical issues that have to deal with whenever you like come here to campus. And I would say like wait until after registration or before. I think that's kind of, well, as far as like registration, that doesn't really have to do much with which kind of machine that you have. We also have some available here for you. So if something was to happen to your machine if you were here, there are plenty of spaces on campus that you can register on. As far as like the kind of laptop that you will need, it's dependent upon like some types of your major or your personal purposes as well. And I know as far as like architecture students, they have to buy like a certain type of machine in order to succeed in their major. And like engineering students have to buy a separate one for theirs. But it just depends on like your personal preference. I'm not going to say which one is better or less than another one, but I would just say that do what you think that you'll be more successful here at the university with.
Okay, awesome. So we have a question from @UT Student Ombuds. What can I do if I have an issue with a professor or I want to dispute a grade? #who you gonna call? #ombuds.
I guess you answered that question. Yes, we definitely have a ton of resources and organizations and offices here at UT who can help us with literally any problem we encounter. The Office of Student Ombuds helps us straighten out any problems we come across in regards to professors or grades that we might want to dispute. All you have to do is look them up, go on their website, schedule an appointment, or make a simple phone call, and they should be able to help you out there.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
we always do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
This could even apply to sort of if we have any conflicts with peers and other students. This Office for Student Ombuds acts as a completely neutral third party. Is that the phrase? A completely neutral third party to help you resolve any sort of conflicts. They're located in the Student Services Building, which you'll absolutely become acclimated to during your time here at orientation, even at your first couple of weeks here on campus.
So did you want to add something?
Oh, no.
Oh. Okay, Ashley 101 Burke has another question for us. Can you pick your professors? If so, how does that work?
Oh, yeah, sure. So during registration, so what happens, also, hi, Ashley, nice to meet you, I'm Tay. Can't wait to meet you when you get here.
Yeah.
And so how you pick your professors is that online we have a course schedule that gets released. And so for the fall, you can only see the fall for a specific semester. And so when you register for classes, there will be a column where you can see the teacher. And so once you get on the website, you'll see like the unique number for that class. You'll see the actual course, and then you'll see the date, time, and location of that course, and also you'll see the professor that's teaching the course. And so you can always look up different like reviews for professors to see like previous students' opinions on the actual course to see if you may want to take that class or you may not want to. If so, okay, I guess I explained. So yeah, you see us look at the course schedule once you get here, and that'll be good to go for you. All right. Yeah.
So our next question, what is your favorite tradition at UT?
Oh, can I? Yours?
Yeah.
My favorite, I have a lot, and I think with the 130-plus year history of the University of Texas at Austin, there have been many traditions developed over the years. My favorite is Gone to Texas, which occurs the day before classes start for the fall semester, and it's really just a really beautiful experience, a really beautiful evening that you share. You gather with your college, and then you move forward to the main ball in front of the tower, where there are a bunch of speakers, including the president of the university, giving you some parting words to help you get started with your new journey here at UT. It's very emotional, at least for me. And there are fireworks, and the tower is lit up with whatever year you're expected to graduate in, and it's really just a beautiful time for a good amount of the UT community to come together and kick off the fall semester. And it's a really beautiful time, and I hope you agree with me when you get here.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorites as well.
Okay, next question. I am currently undeclared. Should I be nervous about not knowing my major?
No,
Oh,
not at all. Yeah,
Okay.
not at all. A lot of students, and so a lot of people get the connotation, like some negative connotation that that being like undeclared is like such a bad thing, and like you didn't get accepted to your major. When in reality, a lot of students choose undergraduate studies because they're not sure of what major they want to declare. You should not worry at all about not knowing your major. When you get to UT, I've had like such a big group of friends tell me that they took one class that influenced them to completely change their major from like engineering to even like government or something like that. It's just like one class can make that big difference for you. And I think just coming to the university not knowing your path can actually be a really great thing, because you can take a wide variety of courses. And then if you like one of those courses, you can also declare your major in that department as well. And I think they would probably agree with me on that.
Yeah, speaking of personal experience, I started at UT Austin undeclared. And one of the things that I'm definitely sure of is that the staff at the UT School of Undergraduate Studies is phenomenal. They do a really great job at helping you get acclimated to all the different majors at UT. I think many students get to campus and they're not even aware of all the majors that UT offers, and then they have to sort of take a few classes and talk to a few people to figure out, like, whoa, that's a major, or I can get a degree in that. And I think once you get acclimated and you figure out exactly what your interests are, that can really be a time for you to decide on your major. Even then, there are minors. You can earn a minor in whatever field of study you would want. UT has many great certificate programs that help you tie in whatever disciplines you would want after meeting certain requirements. There's the ability to double major and even triple major, and to really get the best well-rounded education you can have here. So if you're undeclared, don't worry about it. There's many great resources and people here that can help you get to wherever you want to get. And maybe even along the way, you can learn something new, and you can major in something that you absolutely would not have thought of you would major in the summer between senior year of high school and the first year of college.
Yeah, and also to add on to that, if you are an undergraduate student, there are many resources. If you're still unsure about like what major you want to pursue, there's a big center for academic advising and also career services that you can schedule appointments with, and they have licensed career counselors that are able to like sit down with you and actually get to the root of like what you would like to do, and actually they can help you with figuring out what path you want to take in your life.
Okay, so next question. What advice do you have for someone wanting to get involved on campus?
I guess my advice for someone who wants to get involved on campus would be to actually get out there and look for things, look for people and organizations that you might want to be a part of. I know it might be a little bit overwhelming to put yourself out there, but it's really the best way to know what is out there. Like we said, there's over 1,300 student organizations here on campus. There's usually a ton of organizations tabling all over campus and any day. So all you have to do is walk around, talk to some people sitting at some tables. They are gonna be more than happy to talk to you and tell you about what they offer in their organization. And that's pretty much all you have to do. Put yourself out there, be open-minded, try something you really wanna do, and then something you might have never seen yourself doing before. And trying new things and doing what you like is just gonna get you the best experience in regards to being involved on campus.
Yeah, and like we said before, like with over 1,300 student organizations, that's seriously something here for everyone. Just this last year, our Quidditch team actually won the world championship in Quidditch. So like most people don't even know that we have a Quidditch team, and like for them to win that award is like a great honor to the university as well.
Yeah, so the varsity Quidditch team won the World Cup, but there are many tiers of Quidditch teams. So even if you're not quite there yet to get the World Cup, there are like a bunch of Quidditch teams you can still end up on, and you can play for whichever house you would want.
I'm going to answer a question from Twitter really quick. Twitter handle at Hakuna Matata. Are the math and chem Alex due June 1st or just before orientation? The answer to that, the initial deadline is 11:59 p.m. on June 1st. If you want to take the calculus summer class, that June 1st deadline applies only for the summer classes. If you want to take it in the fall, then you just need to complete that before orientation.
Also, I can speak on that as an like an engineering academic advisor. So for the Alex test, if you are planning on enrolling in a calculus course, they do expect you to complete it before orientation. But as far as like the 70% that you have to have before you're able to get into that course, you can do it up until the day before classes start. So 11:59 before the first day of classes is when they'll drop you from the actual courses. You won't be able to take that course. So it's just important to like try to build those modules up, and so you're able to reach that 70% before you're able to register for that class.
So a couple more questions. What can I do this summer to best prepare for the fall?
Sure. So I'll answer. So what you can do this fall, I would say just try to brush up on like if you know what major you are going into, try to brush up on like some of the stuff that you know that you'll need to do. Don't try to like stay in front of the TV all summer. Try to get active. As far as like the university is huge, so like walking around like won't be most of your exercise. But as far as like just preparing for school, I guess just like being prepared to come live in Austin is a great place to be.
Yeah. Setcho, did you have anything? Are you good?
Well, I would just say mentally prepare yourself for everything, for not just moving to Austin, but to starting academics and classes here in Austin at UT. It can be nice to relax and have a little bit of fun, but it's also good to get into the right mental zone of I'm going to college and I'm going to do everything I need to acclimate and get ready to be successful.
Yeah, of course. And if you're looking for like specifics, well, if any of y'all are readers, we have this program called Freshman Reading Roundup, which occurs the day before classes start, and so involves like you should. You'll probably have gotten a lot of emails about it, and you'll hear more about it at orientation. But there are a lot of books to choose from, so you just like pick a book and you sign up for it, and then you show up the day before. They'll tell you the location, and you'll get breakfast tacos, and you'll get like a free T-shirt, and then you get to it's like a small reading group, maybe like 15 students, and you get to discuss the book with other new freshmen, as well as a professor, or sometimes even the president of the university participates. So, summer reading list, if you want to. So, give that a quick Google if you're interested in that.
It's definitely interesting.
So, another question: what does academic advising look like at orientation?
I can answer about that, and then y'all can chime in if I see anything. So, certain colleges have different pre-advising processes. Sort of the School of Undergraduate Studies has you meet with the Undergraduate Studies OA, and they sort of talk you through whatever courses you might be taking in the fall, and then you meet with your academic advisor, your like professional academic advisor. If your college doesn't do that sort of system during orientation, There's a pre-advising center located in the UTC, the University Teaching Center. Well, you'll have appointments with whatever OA from whatever college you're in, and they talk you a little bit through what classes you can expect, a little bit more about the registration process. It's very important that you are conscious of those and that you're aware of them because they're really valuable information, and they're, like I said, it's appointment based, and so even starting at orientation, you're starting to become responsible for yourself and for getting to places that you're required to be on time, especially on time. And do y'all have anything to add on that?
Also, I would like to add that each orientation advisor that you see, we're trained in different colleges
Yes.
in order to advise students. And so if you do walk up to an orientation advisor, I would say don't expect them to know every answer to any registration question that you have. And just don't be discouraged if they have to go to another individual for help about that.
Yeah, and I think overall, a lot of orientation advisors, our favorite part of being an OA is advising, and we really want y'all to be prepared for registration on day 3. So please don't worry about registration right now. We will take care of you, and we will make sure you are comfortable and confident going into registration.
Absolutely, and if you ever happen to have a question for any orientation advisor and we don't know the answer, we absolutely will get you in contact with whoever does. And so that's something we're absolutely sure of.
Yes.
Next question, do you have advice for out-of-state students attending UT?
That's a very good question.
Okay. I'm not out of state, but I can say what's on my heart. And so for out-of-state students, we treat you no differently than we do any other student here at the university. So advice that we have is that just to be prepared for UT as in the same way as any other freshman or transfer student would. And so just knowing that the university does have high standards that they all their students at, and so just be prepared mentally, physically, and any way other that you need to be prepared for to actually attend UT. Just know you're no different than any other student that's here walking around campus.
Great. Next question, will we be able to use the rec sports facilities during orientation?
Yes, you will.
Yes, you will.
But we have a bunch of really wonderful programming for you anyway. You'll absolutely be able to visit and to see whatever rec sports facilities we have because we know that that's important to some people coming into this university, and we have more than half a dozen of recreational facilities on campus. They vary on what sort of equipment and spaces they have.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, Gregory Gym and the Rec Sports Center are your typical, they have a weight room, they have treadmills, they have ellipticals. I don't know if both, but I know Gregory Gym absolutely has racquetball courts,
Swim pool, aquatic center.
aquatic centers.
They even have a rock climbing wall.
Yes.
Right, but there are some more, a little bit older facilities like Anahis Gym.
Yeah.
That's really good for basketball and volleyball and dodgeball, I believe. So if you need specific not requirements, but if you need specific settings for whatever you can best work out in, they're definitely available. There's also Clark Field, which is typically a track you would expect, for loops equals a mile, that kind of track where the UT lacrosse team practices. So there are many different facilities depending on however best you can exercise your body after you spent all your day exercising your mind.
So true.
Just know that you can access all of these facilities
Yeah.
free with your UTID, including the intramural sports program. If some of you are interested in getting involved with sports but don't really want the stress that comes with being in an official UT athletics team, you can get involved with the intramural sports program where they team you up depending on your ability level or athletic level in that certain sport that you want to play. It can be anything from volleyball to basketball, tennis, anything that you're interested in. It's all free, and you get to have little friendly competitions and practice together. It's a really good way to get involved physically.
Yes.
Awesome. Another question from Twitter, @TechStratos. Is it possible to graduate in 4 years with a double major? I'm worried it is too much.
I was. Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You could.
Okay.
you go ahead.
I would say it's definitely not impossible to do anything if you set your mind to it. I have a array of friends that are double majoring, and of course it is very stressful because you have to do double the coursework. But I mean, like if you do set your time out, like make an actual schedule to when you do have class and then when you want to study outside of class, it'll become like very second nature to you, and I think it's very possible for you to do that.
Yeah, and you also have the option to take summer courses either at UT or any other institution as long as the appropriate credits transfer. And it really just depends on what sort of history you have with college credits coming from your high school, whether it be through classes that you take or through credit by exam. So really, it really depends on what you come in with and how much work you're really going to put in once you get here at UT Austin. And you can definitely have these conversations at any time you have with your academic advisors, whether you're thinking about it now, after graduating from high school, or even after your first or second year, if you feel like, hey, this is something I can really do, what I have to do to get that done. So it really depends, but it's absolutely possible.
Yes.
So next question, how is life as a college student at UT different from life as a high school student?
One thing I would say is that you will have a lot more free time. In high school, you're solely restricted to that, whatever time you have to be in school. But with college, you have classes that may start at 8 a.m. You may have a class that on some days you won't start until 11 a.m. And so sometimes you'll be out of class by 1 a.m. Sometimes you won't even have a class on that day. I think that with that free time, it's very different because you need to learn to manage that time, because sometimes students get carried away. But of course it's like great to explore Austin and all this like greatness, but you need to like find time to manage your studying time into that as well.
Yeah, and I think for many people coming into college, even if you're from Texas or if you're from out of state or you're an international student, all across the board, it's the first time people are sort of responsible for themselves and coming to college and being by themselves. And sometimes it'll be the first time you'll be living with someone new. You'll be even sharing a room with someone. And I think being conscious of how you navigate that is really important. So it's sort of the first time you'll be responsible for yourselves, and that brings about its new sets of challenges. But that's really where, at least I believe, most of the learning occurs. It's really important, even if you're coming from a new environment, if you're moving from somewhere north of the United States, getting acclimated to the weather is something that I think people have that see the difference in. Taking care of your body becomes very different. So like Tay said, the hours of your classes can change day to day. So making time for you to eat well, making time to eat, period. Getting an adequate amount of sleep is really important. You have so much free time, but depending on how much time you want to dedicate to keeping your body and your mind right can vary. And so being conscious of that, keeping track of that, that's something that I've seen a lot of changes, and I think we can agree on as well that that's changed since coming to college. And it's okay to say, no, I don't want to do that tonight. I need to get some rest because I have an early day tomorrow, or because I have to get a lot of studying done. That's absolutely okay. Whatever you need to do to be as successful as you can, do that. Take that chance.
And I think one major thing that some students have that's different from high school is definitely the academic intensity, like I talked about it before. UT is very, I would say like it's very like strenuous in a sense, but only because like they want you to succeed in that. Like once you do get that degree, it's so much more valuable than going to any other institution.
Awesome. Another question from Twitter. At Iconic Isaiah, how long does the meal plan really last?
Good question.
But really.
I think that's like hi Isaiah, nice to meet you. I'm Tay. I'll see you at orientation. And so I think that depends on how your eating habits as an individual. Mine didn't last that long.
Oh my God, yours either. Mine didn't last very
Mine
long.
didn't last that long, only because I like eat frequently, but but yeah, I say it depends. Like some people say they run out in the first semester, or some people said theirs lasts until like the summer, and like they have
Right.
some left over. It just depends on the person and what you like to eat.
Like I said a little bit earlier about class times, even if you want to go ahead and get your own groceries, whether you live on campus or not, those can be really helpful for you to at least have food with you whenever, if you have an 8 a.m. and you sort of don't really have time to get breakfast anywhere. Having snacks are really important. Being more conscious of your eating habits. But really, it depends on how long you last them, and you're absolutely aware of your total.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you need to establish new boundaries with that, definitely do that. But we do so. I think UT Dining does it in a way so you're aware of how many you have, and they're really transparent with their pricing as well. So sort of
It's
being
just-
strategic about that and noticing your eating habits are
Yeah,
do
it's one of those things that you have to learn to manage.
exactly.
You'll be fine.
One really quick question. When do we learn how to get tickets to athletic events like football games, basketball games, etc.? If you visit the Longhorn Lounge, which Sergio mentioned earlier, it's a space in Chester East where you can like relax and recharge and learn about different kind of campus resources and things like that. We will be able to tell you about like the big ticket, and I'm not going to go into detail because it's a whole big thing. But just come by the Longhorn Lounge, and we'll tell you how to get those football tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and UT other sports teams offer free games. I think volleyball is free. Is that right?
No, I'll be charged too.
No. Soccer. You can see many games for free. Quidditch is free to watch. So yeah, we'll talk a lot more about that once you get here in orientation, if that's something you really want to do when you get here to UT.
Cool.
All right. How do I know what programs are required to attend during orientation? Are the optional programs worth it?
So the required programs are going to be clearly labeled as required on your orientation guide and booklet. So you're going to be made aware that those are the programs that you're required to attend. They are there for you to attend for reasons, so they're going to be very helpful to you. So you shouldn't even think about missing out on them. And they are required, so just make sure you attend those. And the optional programs are absolutely also worth it. Like we said, we put all this together for a reason. So you're going to be able to get a lot from those programs, even though they're optional. Like I said, you're going to be able to meet people, build new relationships, and learn more about resources that you will use in the future. So it'll be really helpful to you. Yeah.
And I want to say that we do plan all this programming with like different personality types in mind. So we do like dodgeball and kickball if you're more athletic, but we also have kind of frills and trills, which is like different like icebreakers, and campus crawl for like if you're if you want to do something kind of more like energetic, but also kind of bond with your fellow Texas 19 members. And then we also have like UT time, which is like a really like chill time where you can hang out with tea. Obviously, for more us who kind of, I need that recharge time, and so we want y'all to have that recharge time as well. So just know that we're not leaving you out when we plan all this programming. Next question: how do you change your major if you wish to do so?
So I can speak of that. So during the year, so they have recently changed it to where it's not as easy to internal transfer as you would like to. But what they do is like some colleges have an internal transfer process. And so what will happen is that like if you aren't happy with the major that you are in at that time, you can schedule an appointment with an academic advisor within that department, within your department, and also with the department that you think you want to transfer into. And so usually you have to wait a semester before you're able to transfer into that next major. But sometimes it's as easy as just going to the desk and just signing a paper and you change your major that way. So it just all dependent upon the type of major that you're switching from and then the one you're switching to as well.
Yeah, as long as you do your research for what whatever major or college or school you would want to transfer into, that's really the best advice we can give you right now. Is being aware of what that they require of you and sort of what you have to do to get that done. But it's possible if you keep that in mind. And yeah.
Okay, awesome. So next question, what do orientation advisors or OAs do? Do we have an assigned OA?
So there are about, I believe there's about 90 of us on staff, and we're many different personalities. We have a really good representation of what UT is, and we have a wide array of personalities, people with interests, people with skills. We're just all across the board, and so with that, you meet a lot of us at your time here at orientation. We're all very friendly. We all have a lot of time and care to really make the best experience for you, and that's really the best thing. That's really why we're all here, is to make this orientation experience and whatever time afterwards the best it can be for you. And so with that being said, you meet many of us, whether it be through your academic advising, we're your wing leaders. We're out there in the evening programs, playing games with you, chatting with you. In the programs that you'll see, we're just all over, and we do this because we want you to have the best time. We coordinated a lot of these programs. We planned a lot of them. A lot of what you will see is written by us, through our experiences. And a lot of what we do is we do it with each other, and we work together. We've been together. This group has been together since January to really have you have the best time you can.
Yeah, we're definitely here to help you. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to walk up to any one of us. We'll be glad to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if you have a question that your parent asked you to ask us, we're absolutely available to talk to your parents, talk to your guests, talk to your siblings if they're thinking about coming here too. We're really just here for you and for whoever you bring along with you at your orientation experience.
Yeah, and even after orientation ends, and if we see you on campus during the fall or spring, we really enjoy seeing y'all. And I apologize in advance if I don't remember your name when I see you because we meet a lot of you. But we do really enjoy our positions here, and it makes us really happy when we see y'all thriving on campus during the fall and spring semesters. So don't be shy. Don't be shy. Come and talk to us. Okay. Next question. I am coming from a small town. Will I fit in at such a big campus and city?
I definitely think so. Like we have mentioned before, we believe that there's a place here for everybody. So no matter where you come from, all you have to do is make an effort to find a place, a group where you feel like you belong. And once you find that place or that group, you're gonna start feeling a lot better about yourself and background and where you're heading. So I think anybody can have such a great time here as long as they're open-minded to meeting new people and having new experiences. As long as you find a group where you feel like you belong, then you're gonna start having the most amazing time.
Yeah, and I would definitely say coming from a small town with not much diversity, coming to UT was a big culture shock for me because not being able to be around a lot of cultures was really shocking when I came here. And so I believe you at UT you'll learn so much about many different cultures here that UT has to offer. Well, not offer, well they have. And so I believe just be open to new experiences, and you will really enjoy your time here with 40 Acres.
Okay. Next. Will I have time to meet with my uncle who lives in Austin during orientation?
Yeah. There is some free time, but we pretty much have like a schedule where we want you to be doing something like throughout like most of the time you're here. Because you are here to get acclimated to the university, and so that's what we want your main focus to be. We definitely don't want to hinder you from
Right.
visiting your family. We, of course, we love family because we are a family, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, because but yeah, definitely. If you do, just don't try to spend as much time away from campus because that'll just not be able to that won't really like get your whole. You won't get the full orientation experience if you aren't here actually on campus, like being a part of it.
Okay, next question. Will I be able to meet people / make friends at orientation? Oh, yes. And,
Yeah.
okay, I guess I'll field this one. I mean, like, we create so many programs just for that purpose. You know, they're like, if you want to play dodgeball and like meet a new friend, just don't hit them in the face, I guess.
That's how you make a friend.
Yeah. If you want to play video games while you're making a new friend, like there are so many opportunities to meet new people, and you know, it's kind of really exciting that there's like a lot of you from Texas 19 all here, and so you're like meeting all these new classmates for the first time. So totally take advantage of it. And even you do have college meetings throughout the 3 days, and so like you know also meet your fellow classmates in your college, whether you're liberal arts, whether you're engineering or business or what have you. You know those people could possibly be in your classes, and so you know like totally take advantage of these like 2.5 days that you're here.
And definitely, I would say like coming from like a small town, I came with like nobody else from my hometown. So I had to meet a whole new group of friends, and I can definitely say that orientation is where I met like some of my lifelong friends that I'm roommates with now. That I see them every day, and it's just like a great experience knowing that I met them at orientation and that I'll continue to know them throughout the rest of my life.
Next question: what happens if I don't complete the pre-orientation modules before orientation?
That's a really good question. So hopefully you will have done them before you arrive at UT Austin. But if for whatever reason that doesn't happen and you are aware that you still need to complete them, and also like we make it aware that you still need to complete those pre-orientation modules because they're really valuable to setting up your experience here at orientation. We will have someone available to help you complete those pre-orientation modules during check-in. But after that has to be done by that time.
Final question: what is dating like on campus? Is it easy to meet people, or is everyone in their own little world?
That's a good question.
I would say that's definitely like a personal type of preference. Dating, like there are over 50-something thousand students, so I'm sure you'll run into somebody that could definitely potentially be a lifelong partner. I would just say don't be secluded to just like being in your own little circle because that'll just hinder your chances of being able to be or get out and know everybody else that's here on campus.
Right.
So just be like open to new experiences, which will allow you to discover like new groups on campus, and that could potentially be your new partner.
Yeah, and that can really just depend on how you want to navigate that at UT Austin. You're meeting so many new people, and of course, like those connections can develop. So as long as you keep healthy communication with, if they're your partner, if you're just casually dating, as long as you're aware of what you want, because the first thing you're here to do is to get through your studies here at UT Austin. But as long as you navigate that, and as long as it's a healthy relationship, then there's really nothing to stop you from that. And definitely think that a lot of great relationships can develop here at UT Austin that can really help you out if you can navigate that, and if it's healthy for you. And that's really, that's really all I can say.
Sure.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, thank you everybody who contributed questions today. Let's leave our viewers with some tips for orientation.
Yeah.
Tate, let's start with you.
All right, cool. So, I'm all about like style and stuff, but I would say definitely bring some comfortable shoes. You're gonna have fun, so think of your feet. Yes, that was important, but think of your feet. Oh, and you also want to drink like a lot of water because you will be walking around a lot and it's going to be very hot here on campus. You know Texas is often changes weather.
That's true. Oh, bring an umbrella too.
Yeah, bring an
Bring
umbrella,
enough.
a snow jacket or something.
I think I would say to just really make sure you take advantage of all the programming we put on for you during orientation. Like I said, not only will you meet new people and build new friendships, but it'll also give you a lot of memories to have for your orientation experience. They're so much fun, and afterwards you'll hear so much about them from your other friends. So if you miss them, you're just gonna have to live with that. So just make sure you don't miss them and have fun.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. And also talk to your OAs. We're here for you, and that's really what we're here for. We're really friendly. We really want you to succeed during your time here at orientation. And let me tell you right now, there's really no such thing as a dumb question. Whatever you need to know to help you get started at UT, we'll let you know. And if we don't know, like I said, we'll get you in touch with people that do. And really, we're just here to help you succeed.
Have fun. Please, when you come to orientation, please have fun because we will, our energy will be on 200%.
That's right.
Yes.
So in closing, orientation is a critical event for your successful transition to the University of Texas. Be prepared, go to required programs, etc. Okay, so I think we're about done here. Thank you again for tuning in. We look forward to seeing y'all at orientation. Please say hi. In the meantime, please don't hesitate to contact the Office of New Student Services at 512-471-3304 or at nss@austin.utexas.edu, or even on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @UTOrientation. Hook 'em.
Goodbye.
See you later.
See you later.